So base is our fourth principle. Principle number 1, connection. Principle number 2, detachment. Principle number 3, distance. And now principle number 4, base. What is base? It's balance is part of base, but it's not all of base. It's finding stability through, at minimum, 3 points of contact. If I just have 2 points of contact, I'm going to find balance with those points, but I'm not going to find good base. Good base comes from 3 points or more. 4 is better, 5 is better, 6 is best. So we find base points, and that's where the stability comes from. Peter, come on up. So the first drill that we're going to do is I'm going to have some of the more advanced students be out here, and then you guys are going to line up on the wall, and then you're going to take a turn, 30 seconds or 45, whatever we want to spin with you, and then you'll go to the end of the line, and another person comes up, and we are going to test your base. So you're going to find base, and we're just going to test it. We're not trying to beat you, we're not trying to win, we're not trying to take you down, we're just testing your base. You had something that you wanted to mention about base as it relates to standing.
Yeah. A lot of what we talk about from standing is the grip fight. You know, if I have a grip on him, I'm winning. If we both have the same grip, we're kind of tied. If I outgrip him, you know, I'm winning. So that's the grip fight from the feet. And then with base, it's about finding, obviously, the 2 base points on the floor, but also a base point on him, like my shoulder on him, or my head on him, my hand on him. There's lots of base connections to him, and so knowing that, as the opponent, I don't want him to form grips on me. I don't want him to form base connections on me. So if he's coming in here and his shoulder is tight there, that's a base point. He's got a strong base there. So if I can keep his shoulder away from me, I limit his base. If his head is getting in there, if I keep his head away, I limit his base, and I can then disrupt his base from there.
Okay, so have fun experimenting with this. So Peter, you'll stay up. I'll stay up. Nick, can you come up? Let's also have Chad. Chad, you'll stay up. Ryan, why don't you come on up here? And then Matt. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us will always be up. Everyone else stand up and line up along that wall right there. And Matt, Ryan, myself, Nick, Peter, Chad, you can work with your partner for however long you want, but you know, probably keep it under a minute, and then send them to the end and grab whoever's next. Everyone give me a clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. Stay there.
Yeah, lower hips back.
Because you might have just gotten with him, but watch Peter and I here. So now we're still testing your guys' base, but hey, let's throw some more curveballs at them. So I'm not just going to push you and pull you to test your base. I'm also going to maybe foot sweep you, maybe lift up your leg or attempt to lift up your leg with like a single leg, or maybe come in with a double. I might try to sneak around to your back, so it would look like this. So I'm going to test your base. So I'm finding ways to disrupt him, and I might come in with a little sticky foot right there. So your job is to find base out of that. You know, if I can lift your leg, whether it's with my foot or whether it's with my hand, if I'm able to get your foot off the ground, I've taken some of your base. So that would not be ideal. So take this foot sweep, for instance. If I'm coming in here and I have the opportunity, I'm close enough to do this, he's going to want to find base to shut that down. Alrighty? Another thing, I just wrote a little essay on this today. Don't overdo it. Don't overreact in your base. If I'm in here like this, overdo it a little bit. Like, rely too much on me for your base. I guess that's a good way to put overdoing the base. So he's relying too much on me for his base right now. I just saw Nick and Mario. Nick tested your base by shucking you down because you overcommitted your base point on him. Okay, so don't overdo it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Same thing that the adults are doing. So they're going through these principles just like we're going through these principles, and we're doing base this week as well. And we've been doing the same drill where the coaches come out and we push the kids around and we see what kind of a base they have. One of the kids instinctively did what Eric instinctively is doing to keep base and to not let me take his base. And that is when he feels through his connections that I'm attempting to come into his legs with my foot. He takes one of his base points and he directs it to that attacking limb. So just do what you've been doing, okay? Just do what you've been doing. So I'm trying to test his base, and as I want to come in, he uses this as a base point, which also shuts down my ability to get into his legs with my leg. Just an idea to think about. Now, we've been testing your base. Now you get to test our base a little bit as well. So, coaches, you 6 that are out, let's have this be a give and take. So we're still testing your base, okay? But you get to also test our base. I don't want you to be one-dimensional in this. Try to take our base away as well. It's a game. Okay, don't worry about who wins and who loses. Purposely find or allow yourself to test that base in unique ways. So Peter and I are going to do a little demo. I'm not trying to beat him. I'm not trying to see how many times I can take away his base and him the same. We're researching base right now. Back and forth. Go ahead. I let him come in, and now I see what he's going to want to do and how I can base out of that. Get the idea. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So the 6 of us, we're going to continue to stay out, but we're shifting to groundwork now. Finding base from the ground. And for the first drill, you guys are going to play the top position. Us 6, we're testing their base. We're testing your base from the bottom position. If we're in some form of guard, we're going to be looking to off balance you in some way, sweep you over. If you get past our legs and you're in a side control over a mount, again, we're moving, we're testing your base. So it'll look like this. Peter's playing your role. He's trying to keep base. Come in. Now, doesn't matter who wins or loses. So don't be shy. Don't dance around here. Yeah, we're not getting anywhere with this. So just come in. And let us have our way with you. Okay? Because you're going to get more experience that way. Okay? Peter's going to allow himself to be manipulated, and he finds those base points. And then he adjusts. He finds base points.
This position here, you might find yourself on your knees and you're like, oh, I have a really solid base here because you're so low to the ground. And if you just sit here, it limits a lot of what he does, but it limits your growth and what you experiment from here. So if you find yourself on your knees, play for a little bit, but then step up a little bit. Start moving around, try to pass. Maybe, yeah, he ends up getting a hook. Yeah, that's not the best, but you get to experiment with that.
One of the things that I think a lot of us will struggle with, and we've talked about this before, you know, as you get better, you learn how to be sticky with these hooks. It's such an important concept. You want to talk about how, you know, we're going to find base, but how do you get rid of those sticky hooks, Peter?
Yeah, here, it's got that sticky hook. I can swivel my leg like that to get out of it, or he's going high. I'll go even further than he wants to get out of it there. Or, so I might swivel, I might drop my knee down this way and come out that way.
But if you don't deal with that sticky hook, you might find your base the first time, but eventually you're going to run out of room to work. Okay, so clear those sticky hooks. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. We did this in the kids class yesterday, and you know, context is everything, but it's a good game, it's a good drill to play to help you understand base, how to acquire base and then use base to suit your purposes. In this case, it's to get out from the bottom position and stand up to your feet. So the base drill is for the bottom guy. Let's stay top. Let's go ahead, us 6, let's stay top, and we'll work in with you guys. Peter, lay down. In the kids class yesterday, I referenced Spider-Man Homecoming. And in Spider-Man Homecoming, Vulture is the bad guy's name, right? Vulture? Okay. Vulture drops a building on Spider-Man. And Spider-Man then talks to himself in the third person, encouraging himself to get up, Spider-Man. You can do it, Spider-Man. You got this, Spider-Man. Yeah. And he does it. He gets out of the building by establishing frames and base points is that building offense. So I am the building that is crushing you, Peter. Okay? Your job is to get out from the building and get up to your feet. My job, I'm not going to submit you. I'm not going to attack you. I'm going to work with you and try to hold you down. And you know, depending on who we have, you know, we'll measure our, you know, our aggression towards you. Okay? Ready, go. Cool. Good job. Now, context. Don't do something that's going to put you in jeopardy if it was a live roll. So, exposing your neck on your back exposure, all of that good stuff. And I'll kind of let you know, like if you turn to expose your back a little bit too much, you know, we can kind of let you know that you did that and give you some feedback there. So we want to be smart and measured about this. The drill that we did Tuesday night, this is probably going to be your bread and butter. One thing that Peter did that most of the kids could not figure out on their own, they had to be told this. Did you see that he lined himself up with me? I'm very strong perpendicular to Peter. Okay? I'm going to have a lot of success keeping him down if I can stay perpendicular to him. He lined our bodies up by kind of chasing a guard back, but the underhook drill that we did Tuesday night, it's the same idea. So watch this again and pay attention to his process and how he lines himself up with me, gets his base points, and then starts to stand. And feel free to talk if you need to.
So using base points off of him with my knees and hands on his hips and my feet as needed. And then get some space to now base on the ground. While still basing on him to keep him away. My head, there's a big roll there.
More time.
I might not have the space to get my knee in. I might need to go away a little bit. Affect his base at his elbow there. And then go back.
Okay. Have fun. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Some tips on base, and I believe this is as it relates to the bottom position. Yes, sir? Okay, so listen to Nick, please.
Guys, so
I'm the runt of everyone in my family. Everyone in my family is over 6'3". They're giant humans, right? I'm the runt. So I'm used to getting buried on the bottom. So something that saved me with even my little brothers, 6'4", 6'5", just giant people. It's pressure on the face. When you started progressing with me, what were you doing? Could you tell? Yeah.
I was taking out of the elbow and driving up into the...
He was not giving me control of his face on bottom. This right here is huge for me. Okay, I try and find his jawbone, put it right there on the palm of my hand. Okay, this is huge. If he buries me and I don't have that, he's gonna make me eat this shoulder. Okay, this is brutal. So for survival on bottom, dude, this is gonna save your life and it's gonna change your entire game. Even if he rolls, drops his hip on this arm, starts rolling away from you, I can start getting these big people off of me. Okay? This right here will change your game on bottom. Guaranteed. If you start practicing controlling his head, working it down, and then working on transferring and going the other way, that's going to be huge. So anytime you get on bottom and there's a big guy or he's better than you, he's making you eat that shoulder, find that knuckle, that bone in the palm of your hand, work it right in there behind the jaw. Having that leverage to get that pressure off of you, game changer. You're going to love it. Okay?
So with that in mind, let's spend a few minutes and practice this. So you're going to find a partner now, somebody close to your same size, and back and forth play with this idea that Nick has shared with us about finding, base from the bottom, a structure that you can break their base with. And then if you noticed, he's finding base points with his shoulder and then his elbow. He's basing on Peter. Okay, so why don't you guys just do a couple of turns each, demonstrating how we want this to go down in this drill. Okay, so
Awesome.
Check this out, guys. Peter gets top.
And I start just like this, arms up. He's going to get whatever he wants. And then we're going to go. Ready to go.
Peter's not necessarily trying to win, but he's making it realistic for Nick. And Nick escaped. Then he goes back. Finding those base points. Good. And now Peter goes down. Nick goes top. Good. So like 2 for 2. And if you notice, the bottom person, we're messing with the top's base. And as he fights to regain base, those are those opportunities that we need, that we want to capitalize on to improve our position in this scenario. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. And it is time to go into matches. So we got time to do 6 rounds. Before we go into that, I just want to share something that I posted on the Team Jiu-Jitsu page the other night. Check out that video that I posted of, shoot, who was it? Craig Jones. And his training style, how they drill, and even how he rolls. It's great for longevity, you know, to be able to do this as often as you want and stay relatively healthy, but also just to learn. He trains and he rolls at such an even, mellow pace. It was beautiful to watch. And you know, I just want to encourage us that, you know, as we go into these 6 rounds, maximize your time. Put yourself in a position that you want to play around and experiment with. Let the other person work a little bit too. Don't go into it with that mentality of, I need to win. Okay, so I'm going to get the timer queued up, get the music going, and let's do it. 1, 2, 3.